Hi guys, my name is Cheritaisrandom. I'm the most positive person you'll ever meet. I guarantee it.
And it's bubbly, 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 bubbly. We are singing to our love.
So Kathleen Lights said the N-word. Who cares? Honestly, like, who really cares? And I feel like there's only a select few of I feel like there's only a select few people who should be offended by what she said. If you guys are not familiar with what happened with Kathleen Lights and Jaclyn Hill, I will leave some videos for you guys to watch. But basically, long story short, Kathleen Lights and Jaclyn Hill, they're both beauty gurus. They were doing a collab. Kathleen Lights was playing with a VR headset and said the N-word. Now, not that it matters, but she did not say the N-word with the ER at the end. She said the N-word with the A at the end. To some people, it makes a difference. To some people, it doesn't make a difference. To some people, nobody should be using this word. To other people, only black people should be using this word. Now, me personally, I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you decide to use it. I don't care if you decide not to use it. I personally don't use it. I'm not saying I haven't used it, but it's definitely not a word that is in my vocabulary. If somebody decides that they're not going to use this word, they've decided that they didn't want to reclaim it as many black people do. They want to reclaim it because it was once used to dehumanize black people. So they're like, well, we're going to take it back. Haha, we're laughing in your face. If black people want to use it in that way, then so be it. Let them. But don't question why they choose to do it, or why it's okay for black people to do it but for other people not to do it. That's just like if you have a child and a child is using profanity. What do you tell them? Don't use that word. Why? Well, because you're too young. Or it doesn't, the point is you're letting them know that they cannot use it, and that's the end of discussion. It's a bad word. We don't use those words. Boom. So if you come across a black person who tells you, I can use the word but you can't, don't question them. That's just how it is. And then on the other hand, there are black people who don't use the word. They think it's demeaning, you know, they don't understand the reclaiming of it and this, that, and the other. But like I said, I don't care. And maybe it's because of my story and how I grew up. But it's just not a word that I use or I feel the need to use. And what we can't do is we can't question people's stories, or we can't tell people how a word is supposed to make them feel or not supposed to make them feel. If I broke my leg, I'd probably cry and sob because it hurts me, and that's how I feel. But then Joe Schmo down the street, he could break his leg and walk on it for 3 days because he doesn't feel any pain. So just because I felt pain and I cried doesn't mean my injury is less significant than Joe Schmo's injury. It's still a broken leg. We just handle it differently. So if somebody calls somebody a word that they don't like and they tell you, that hurt my feelings, you are not allowed to tell them, no it didn't, because you don't know how it made them feel. You don't know their morals. You don't know what their beliefs are. So if they feel that words have power and words can hurt somebody, then that's their belief. That is their truth. That is their story. But you can't sit there and say, well, you shouldn't feel this way because it's just a word. Okay, well, there's a lot of meaning to that word, and people like to hold on to it, or they like to let it go. So if they're holding on to it, then let them hold on to it. That's their truth. That's their beliefs. Back to the whole Kathleen Lights situation. Should we be mad at Kathleen Lights? Should we subject her to a whole bunch of negative comments? I don't think so. Only because, one, not everybody's perfect, and two, Kathleen Lights has not shown any, I'm not gonna say any other way, but Kathleen Lights, for the most part, is a very positive person that we can look up to. She doesn't say ugly things on her Twitter or her Snapchat or her Instagram. She is genuinely a nice person. So if we were to judge everybody off of what they've done wrong, nobody would like anybody in this world, because we've all done wrong. And she did apologize The only thing that I feel that was wrong about her apology is that she said, I don't use that word. Well, the word rolled off her mouth, rolled off her tongue way too easy for her to never had used that word before. But if she says she hasn't, then she hasn't. But I was watching another video by Peter Mon, and he made a couple videos, and I will link his latest video below. And he pretty much talks about the same thing. Well, what he said is she should get on camera and just own her mistakes. This is the mistake I made. I need to look at myself and figure out why I said the words that I said. We all have our issues. Maybe she wants to say that word, or maybe she listens to a lot of music that has that word in it. I don't know. But the way that it rolled off her tongue, it was just way too easy. And she said it a couple times. I think she said it like twice. And the minute she said it, she realized she was wrong, because she did say, hey, delete that, don't post it. It got posted on Jacqueline's Snapchat, whatever. I'm not here to really discuss the drama. I'm just here to talk about what happened just from another perspective. Because a lot of videos are drama filled, a lot of videos have receipts, but I just want you guys to try to look at it from another perspective. This just isn't about let's bash Kathleen Lights because she said one thing wrong. But she has this huge platform to prove that she's not necessarily this bad person that this one word made her out to be to some people. If you guys go back and just watch her videos, you'll see that she doesn't really have a malicious bone in her body. And of course, this is me just looking at what I see on YouTube and on her social media, but there are other YouTubers out there who come across one way on camera, but then you see their Twitters and their Instagrams and their Snapchats, and they're a whole different persona. I feel like Kathleen Lights is a genuine individual, and I personally don't believe there was no maliciousness or hatred or racism in her heart when she said that word. I mean, honestly, like, I forgive Kathleen Lights for what she said, because there's just too many bigger things to worry about right now. So I'm not really worried that Kathleen Lights let this word slip from her mouth and she owned up to it. Okay, cool. Now let's worry about the bigger things that are going on in this world. And like I said, I will link the original video. I'm not gonna put the footage in there because I didn't capture the footage, but I will give you guys the video link to Jacqueline Hill's Snapchat. And then I would also like you guys to watch Peter Mon's video, because he had really good insight onto kind of about how words do have power behind them, and how Kathleen Lights should just kind of own up to what it is that she said. And there's one more video that I actually watched earlier today. Her name is Larissa Turner, and she did a really positive video about this whole situation. It was a really great video, and I think just with us older YouTubers, we just have a whole different outlook on life, and we just are so passionate about expressing how it's better to just be positive and not take life for granted. And I definitely am like that old person now that is like, what are you guys listening to? What kind of shows are you watching? Blah, blah, blah. Like the same things that my parents used to tell me. But I feel like as long as we're trying to feed you guys the positivity, we can only hope to be the person that we want the world to be, or something like that. Anyways, that is it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, I want to thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I actually just looked at my YouTube today and I saw that I had over 1,000 subscribers, and that means the absolute world to me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a positive and love-filled day. Bye!